everyone, Anum here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to achieve this really quick and easy makeup look if you are someone who has to do a lot of virtual calls or participate in meetings or anything like that right now. I know a lot of us are thinking, do we need to do a full face of makeup? Do we actually need to get dressed? Well, I've been using a lot of my graphic tees lately. I don't know about you, but I haven't been actually like fully dressing up like I would if I'm going to the office, but I've still been able to keep my makeup and just try to keep it at a minimum so I'm not spending, you know, a full hour in the morning getting dressed for literally sitting at my computer table. This look is very easy and quick to achieve. It takes me probably 10-ish minutes max, and that includes, you know, like brushing out my hair. Sometimes I like to do something a little bit extra and curl it, but for the most part it's pretty simple and quick to achieve. So if you want to learn how to get this look right here, just keep on watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know how you're coping during this pandemic time of our lives. And let's just jump right into it. I'm starting with moisturizing my face. Now it's up to you if you want to use a moisturizer or a primer, or moisturizer then primer. I know for me on a daily basis, especially if I'm working from home, I just prefer to have a moisturizer and I don't need to have that extra like added step. I have been using this one for years and years and years. It's the Olay Complete. It is reasonably priced. You can get it at the drugstore. It works really well for me. I have normal skin, and it has SPF 15, I believe. So if you are going outside, you know that you're covered. And as that moisturizer is kind of seeping into the skin, I start on my brows. So I am using the Benefit Cosmetics Brow Styler. It is amazing. On the one side you kind of have your sharp tip to be able to outline, and on the other side you actually have this like fun little applicator, and it's got the powder. I'm actually running really low on this, and I just made my order for another one. I am the shade 4 if you're curious. I just start by drawing my outline on the bottom, drag it out to like however long you want your brows to be, and then I use the powder portion to begin filling in from the top. When the product is not that heavily on the applicator, that's when I start to do more of the front, because I like more of an ombre effect with my eyebrows, so I like it to be a bit lighter at the front and then get darker at the arch. At this time I like to go in and color correct as much as I can. I use the Vasanti Liquid VO2 color correcting concealer. If you are similar skin tone as me, like, you know, South Asian, even a bit darker skin toned, I find this works really well. I just like to kind of color correct over like any weird discoloration. I have a lot like kind of on my cheeks area. I like to cover up my zits and stuff and just have a little bit of correction like under my eye, and I just kind of go around color correcting wherever I can. That is more or less even, and of course once you do your concealer, foundation, all that good stuff, it'll become even more even. In terms of overall complexion for an everyday look, especially when you're at home, I like to keep it as simple as possible. Sometimes I do concealer, powder, and just skip foundation completely, but if I want something that's a bit longer lasting and more of an even complexion and everything, I like to go in with a stick foundation. So the first thing I do is take my concealer. I am using the Tarte Shape Tape. Apply a generous amount like under my eye. I like to do like my nose area here. I like to do my upper lip. While the concealer is still on my face and kind of like seeping into the skin, I like to go with a stick foundation. Stick foundation is perfect because you get that coverage, but it's lighter. So you don't feel like you have tons and tons of product on. I really love the NARS Velvet Matte Foundation Stick, and you just kind of twist it up, and it actually has like a sponge that you can use on the bottom, but I prefer to use my own sponge. And then I just add that kind of like randomly around my face to build coverage. I never forget about my neck area, you guys. I want my neck to be obviously a similar color to my face, and this is the perfect time to take a damp sponge, damp beauty blender, anything you have at home. Make sure it's wet though, because you're gonna use that wetness and hydration, and it's gonna pick up the product and really like help you blend it into the skin. I do different kinds of motions, so I dab a lot, but I also will kind of spread it as well as I'm dabbing. And then where my under eye area is, I really like to use that product on the under eye obviously, and also on the lid, so make sure that you're able to spread it. Now I like to take a little bit of translucent powder. I'm using the IT Cosmetics by Pores translucent powder, and using that same damp sponge that you have, just take a little bit of it and start to dab it in the areas that you really want to set into place. For me, that's like my under eye area, these lines around my lips, my chin line, and a bit on the forehead. Now just taking this like flat foundation brush that I have, I've had it from Sephora for years, I just dust that product off. So as you can tell, I really didn't keep it on my face for a long time. Now I'm taking a powder foundation. This is the L'Oreal True Match. I have been using this for years and years and years, and I'm applying that all over my eyelid, because the product that we did put on your eyelids also needs to set. This is like the quickest way to do that. At this point, you should have what is a pretty clean, solid face. And so I am going to start with my bronzer. I am using the Yves Rocher bronzing powder duo. It looks like this. Generously applying that in different parts of my face to bring color back. There we are. I also like to use a contour stick before applying this powder, but to keep things simple, I'm just using like bare minimum products to show you guys that you can definitely like elevate your look for your virtual meeting or hangout in like the bare minimum steps as possible. So at this point, you're welcome to take whatever eyeshadow you want and apply it on your eyelids. For me, because we are keeping things really, really simple, we're gonna take that same bronzer that we were using, just take a nice fluffy crease brush and use that powder for your crease line. It's very subtle, but it looks like you've definitely put on some makeup. I sometimes even take just like a flat eyeshadow brush and use that same foundation powder and apply it almost like a overall lid color to go with the bronzer. And if you want to take it an extra level, I would even apply some eyeliner. So first I'm gonna tightline with this Marcel Cosmetics Velvet Gel waterproof eyeliner, and I'm just gonna tightline very little and do the bottom line as well. Taking my Benefit Cosmetics roller liner, and I'm not doing a cat eye or anything like that. Again, the idea is to just look more alert and awake in your virtual calls and stuff. So I just kind of like pull my skin a little, which is probably a no-no, but that's the easiest way for me to apply eyeliner. And I'm just doing a very simple line on top. If you're into eyelashes kind of on a daily basis, sure, go for it. For me, I just find mascara to be the easiest and quickest for an everyday kind of look. I definitely don't wear lashes every day. But for like parties, special occasions, weddings, or a really cool look, I like to wear lashes. Now we're just going to bring a little bit of color to our face, because the last thing you want to do is look super bland on a Zoom video call. I definitely would suggest applying some blush. Today I am using the L'Oreal Paris Paradise Enchanted blush. The shade is called Fantastical. Give yourself a little smile and do your thing. Just because you're having a virtual meeting does not mean that you don't need highlighter. I think highlighter adds a nice touch. I'm using the Benefit Cookie highlighter, And I'm gonna apply a little bit on the top of my cheekbones right here and kind of like drag that out. A little bit on my nose, upper lip, chin, forehead, wherever like you normally like to highlight, I would do that. If you are unsure, I would say think of highlight as like places that you want to highlight on your face. Like if you really like your eyebrow shape or your cheeks or something, I would go ahead and highlight those areas. And I like to add, like I mentioned, just on my brow bone here and kind of drag that out. You can do like a little bit of like your inner corner for a pop. I'm using that same big brush with some powder in it to kind of just blend the highlighter into place. Same with the blush. You don't want anything to stand out too much. Lastly, all you need is a little bit of lipstick. You are welcome to do something crazy bold and have your makeup really shine and stand out. Sometimes I do like, you know, a pop of red or a pop of like a burgundy or brown just to have that kind of look. But on an everyday basis, I do prefer something a bit more subtle but still have color. So I love to use, at least for my skin tone, it's the Pixie Beauty matte liquid lipstick called Evening Rose. It's like nude with like a hint of pink in it. I don't know, I just really like this. This is actually my third tube of it because I really like this color on my skin tone. You are welcome to stop there, or you can use a setting spray to set everything in place. I like to use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, shake it up a bit and just let it like seep into the skin and do its thing. And it's that simple, friends. Like all you have to do is put on a little bit of makeup, look more alert and awake during your Zoom calls, or if you're hanging out with your friends online or family, whatever it is, and you want to look a little bit elevated than like you would while you're sitting on the couch, for instance. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below, let me know how you're coping, and give me ideas on what you'd like to see on my channel here. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Mwah! Bye!